All the games, if you notice, have a problem to solve, isn't it? In Spider-Man, you have some missions to solve. In the games which Karan play, you have some sort of, again, you have a mission to eliminate all the other enemies. The game that Danny plays is that you have to eliminate the dragon. All the games have a problem and you have to solve it. And the way of solving the problem is what we call as a game, isn't it? We are in a pursuit to solve the task. We are in a pursuit to complete the missions and win the game. That means we just want to solve the problem which is given to us. And if we solve the problem successfully, then we win the game. So a game is nothing but the best example of a problem solving activity. Like it is just like maths, isn't it? Like you have a problem in maths, you solve it. It's just that you perform maths problem in a paper and you perform these kind of problem statements in computer, that is virtual. Your game is nothing different than a maths problem. You just have to understand the problem, you have to run your brain, run your mind, think of a solution and just perform it. That simple it is. Video games are the games which we are talking about, and these are some virtual electronic games which can be played on some electronic device. It could be a smartphone, it could be your computer, or it could be a console as well. Console as in PS, PlayStation, Xbox. And you know, in this phone you have such exciting features, like you have 4 triggers over here. They are invisible, but you can play games and you can use 4 different buttons by touching here like this. So gaming technology is booming in such a great speed that every day a new technology is appearing so that the user can get best gaming experience. Like we are also having some VR games. You know what are VR games? VR or AR games? Yes, Michael?
They are goggles.
Yes, you just wear those VR goggles and then you see a virtual reality and you have some handles in your hand in order to make movements. For example, you can play cricket, you can play lawn tennis. All these games are possible on virtual reality and augmented reality. So the gaming industry is just getting higher and higher and higher and higher. So a game development is not that easy. We have a lot of steps which are included from the journey that the game is completely developed. The first and the foremost step is designing. So designing doesn't involve coding stuff. Designing only involves thinking and writing it down, that what would be the game, what would be its name, what would be the problem, how the problem would be solved, how many players would be there, what would be the scene, that means the place where the game would be played, what would be the costumes of the player. All these things involve in game designing. Okay, and then the coding stuff actually begins in game development. That is the second stage. The second stage is the stage where the coders combine everything all together and program the game so that they can get one single output, which we call as a game. And then comes the third stage, which is the testing stage. Just imagine you have made a game and there are so many bugs in it. Would you launch it into the market? No, of course, you won't launch any game with a lot of bugs in it into the market. So that is why testing phase is very important. You test the game by playing it days, nights, for weeks, and so that you get to know that if there is any bug, you can rectify it. Yes, Michael?
Do you mean bug by insect?
No. So Michael, a bug is basically a problem in a code. Okay, a bug is not an insect. A bug, when we're talking about programming, game development, app development, or coding, and here when we use the word bug, it means that your program is having a problem. It's not functioning as you expected. And if the program is not functioning as it should B, then of course there is something wrong and you have to rectify it. So all these things are involved in the testing phase. And once you have tested your game and you have rectified all the bugs, only then you can launch the game into the market. So here are certain categories of game. Michael, can you read all these categories for me?
PC gaming, console gaming, mobile gaming, online gaming, esports.
Yes, exactly. So, Danny, can you give me an example of online game?
Valorant, like what Grant said.
Yeah,
It's like
exactly. Online games
Wild.
are, yes, online games are basically those games which we can play with other people using internet. Though we are not physically together, but we can be together in a game. We can be together in the same team in an online game, isn't it? Have you played any online game?
What'd you say?
Have you played any online game?
Yeah, Fortnite is an online
Yeah,
game. It's
Fortnite. Exactly. Fortnite is an online game. And
or like
Michael, what about?
Valorant, but it's
Yeah, Valorant. It's is also same. So I hope you all must be familiar with Scratch. Have you ever used Scratch previously? Okay, so here this is known as Scratch. I think Michael and Danny are not aware of it. Are you? Have you used it, Danny, previously?
no.
No. Okay, that's fine. So Scratch is, yes, Michael.
It's quite like coding.
Yes, Scratch is actually like coding. Scratch is a very easy platform to learn programming. Here you can program games as well. Okay, so today we'll be making a very simple game that I'll be explaining you just after a few minutes. But before that, I'm going to give you a quick walk around through this screen. So towards the extreme left, there are multiple blocks. These are known as the coding blocks. All these blocks, they have a particular meaning. So we'll be learning to use few of them in this class. And then towards the center is your workspace where you can drag out these blocks and make a code. You have to make a blockchain. This way you can make your own code. And then towards the right at the top where you can see this cat, this is a display. This display is used when you want to code some visual stuff. Like it's not necessary that your program would always include some visual interface. But if you want to code some visual things, then that reflects over here. Okay guys? Okay, so I'll explain you what game are we making. We will be making the game whose name is Catch the Bug. What's the name, Michael? Can you repeat it?
Catch the bug.
Yes, Catch the Bug. In this game, you have an insect that is a bug and an animal which eats that particular bug. What we have to do is we have to help the animal to reach the bug so that it eats it. Okay, so the first thing that we have to do is we have to delete this cat because cats don't eat bugs. How to delete it? There at the bottom, you see this delete option, delete basket, you click it and your cat will be deleted. Now what we have to do is we have to click on this icon, that is choose a sprite. When we click it, we can see a lot of images just like this. See here we have a lot of images. So from here we can find a bug. So my favorite is this beetle. I can click this beetle and here it comes. The beetle comes on my screen. Similarly, I need an animal that will eat this bug. So I'll go to choose a sprite again. And I think butterflies eat bug. So I'll choose this butterfly too. So this way the butterfly is also there on the screen. And now, don't you think so that bug is a lot bigger? It should be smaller. To reduce its size, you click on the beetle and over here there is this size option. You can reduce it to 50 in order to make it smaller. We can't make a game with plain background. So to add a background, we go to this option which says choose a backdrop. Click here and I'm gonna choose a background which looks similar to a forest. Okay, yeah, there it is. So when I click it, appears like this. Now everything looks good. We have a beetle, we have a butterfly, and they both are in a forest, and now we can make a story around it. So the first thing that we have to do is we have to program our butterfly to move using the arrow keys in our laptop. In order to do that, what we have to do is we have to go to this event tab over here, and then I have to drag out the second block which says when space key pressed, and instead of space I'll choose when up arrow key pressed. To move my butterfly up, I'll have to first of all use this block and change it to up arrow key, then go to the motion tab, and from the motion tab I have to set its direction. So here I'm going to use this point in direction block. Point in direction, I'll click this 90 and I'll point the butterfly in the up direction, and then I'll drag out move 10 steps. That's simple it is. Now when I press the up arrow key, you'll notice that my butterfly is moving up. But is it moving in an expected manner? Does the butterfly go up like this? No, the butterfly doesn't get up like this. Well, in order to rectify this issue, you have to get this block which says set rotation style. This block, you place it over here, and now if you notice, now my butterfly is moving up in a better way. Okay, so we can add one more feature, which is you have to go to the looks tab over here. Go to the looks tab, and there you will find an option of next costume. And when you put this option of next costume, you'll notice that my butterfly flaps, and now it's looking even more realistic, isn't it? Now it's looking even more better. So similarly, what I can do is I can copy paste this code and make it go down as well, but this time I have to point it in the down direction. Now when I press the down arrow key, my butterfly goes down as well. Now up arrow key moves it up, down arrow key makes it go down. Now similarly, I can duplicate it and make it go towards right by pointing in towards the right direction, and make it go left by making it point towards the left direction. Now my butterfly is okay. Oh, wait a second, I'll have to choose the left arrow key. Okay, now my butterfly is moving as per my instructions. Come on, what you have to do is you have to make your animal to move as you press the arrow key. If you press right, then it should go right. If you press left arrow key, it should go left. If you press up arrow key, it should go up, and if you press the down arrow key, it should go down in all the directions. Now I have to code it for beetle. To code it for beetle, I have to click this beetle first of all, and when you click the beetle, all the code vanishes. It actually doesn't vanish, but it is the screen where you have to code for your beetle. If you click on the butterfly, the code will come again, but here you have to code it for beetle, so the screen is blank. So let us see how we can code it for beetle. So the beetle is coded in such a way that the point when butterfly touches the beetle, beetle vanishes and it reappears onto some other new position. So let's see how it happens. You have to go to events tab, drag out when green flag clicked, and then you have to go to the control tab, and in the control tab you have to take out a block forever, and just after forever you have to take out a block which says if. You have to place it in this kind of a combination. Then you can simply go to sensing and drag out the first block. If touching butterfly, change the option to butterfly. If it touches the butterfly, then click on the motion tab and drag out go to random position block like this. And now let's try to play our game. When I click on this green flag over here and start to play my game, see, when my butterfly touches the beetle vanishes and it appears into a new place. So this is how my butterfly is eating a particular beetle, and a new beetle appears every time when my butterfly eats one beetle.